Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. I'm Cordy, and today we're diving into a major story that's shaking both the WNBA and the NBA to their core. Reports are flying that Caitlin Clark's civil rights situation has now sparked a full-blown probe by the Trump administration. Yeah, you heard that right. This one's going all the way up to Indianapolis. Let's get it. Let's go. Now listen, the streets are talking, and I mean really talking. If you thought Caitlin Clark's situation wasn't connected to all this, you might want to think again, because what's coming down the pipeline looks like it's just the beginning of something way bigger. I've been telling y'all this isn't just about one game or one call or even the WNBA. This thing right here could open the floodgates for investigations across all professional sports. Remember when I said months ago that Trump's team was gearing up to step in? Yeah, I said it. And now it looks like the hammer might actually be dropping. I expected it to hit the WNBA first, and honestly, I think Caitlin Clark's treatment on the court and the questionable officiating she's been facing might have lit the fuse. Her civil rights, her safety, her fair play, all of it's been under the microscope, and now the feds might just be listening. Even Stephen A. Smith has been hinting about this probe, calling out inconsistencies and bias that can't just be ignored anymore. When mainstream voices like that start echoing what independent journalists and fans have been shouting for months, you know something big is brewing. And I've been on this story from day one, connecting the dots that everyone else missed. Because let's be real, most folks moved on. They forgot. But not me, not TFD. Caitlin Clark's story is more than basketball. It's about fairness, accountability, and the system being called out for what it is. So buckle up, because if what's being whispered behind closed doors turns out to be true, the WNBA and NBA could be in for a storm like they've never seen before. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started. Okay, right? Now, how could we forget about this? The WNBA and Caitlin Clark's civil rights situation. Y'all remember when the Wall Street Journal dropped that piece, right? The one that said, if the league won't act to protect its superstars from a hostile environment, the government should do so. Yeah, that one right there. That was the moment everything shifted, because it wasn't just about basketball anymore. It was about accountability and who's really protecting the players in this league. Now, let me tell y'all something. This is just my theory, my opinion, but I believe this entire situation surrounding Caitlin Clark has directly sparked what we're seeing right now. The domino effect is real. The FBI's ongoing investigation into sports gambling, yeah, it's been brewing for a while, but I truly think Caitlin Clark's civil rights case poured gasoline on that fire. Because once her situation gained national attention, the conversation went from bad calls and rough play to something way bigger: corruption, influence, and integrity in professional sports. Think about it. The timing lines up. A few months ago, this talk about the feds stepping in started popping up, and now suddenly the FBI is knee-deep in investigating gambling operations tied to multiple leagues. And if that's happening on the NBA side, you better believe the WNBA isn't far behind. Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that these two leagues move hand in hand. So yeah, this isn't just a coincidence. Caitlin Clark's treatment, the lack of protection from officials, the biased calls, all of that opened people's eyes. It forced a national conversation about fairness, about who's watching the watchers, and about what really goes on behind those closed doors. And I'm telling you right now, this is just the start. The probe we're seeing in the NBA could easily roll right into the W. And when it does, it's gonna be massive. So don't be surprised when you see more headlines linking Caitlin Clark's name to the federal investigation, because I believe she's the spark that set this whole thing off.
Now, what I'm about to show y'all goes all the way back to August, all right? Yeah, you heard me right, August. This clip right here, this is important. Pay close attention. What you're about to see is Stephen A. Smith himself speaking on this exact situation before it even blew up. Listen to what he says, because this right here might just connect all the dots.
All of these things are things that has the eye of the administration. As you know, Molly, it ain't just sports that I'm doing. I'm doing a lot more than sports. I am not guessing on this. I didn't go on my show and just bring it up for no reason. I happen to know a few people who have said this is something that do not be surprised that President Trump speaks on eventually. And if that man decides that this is something that can feed his base, that can ingratiate himself with that kind of audience that is protective of a Caitlin Clark and what she stands for and what she represents, and they come to a conclusion that they believe she is being unfairly treated, that is going to be a problem for the WNBA. So I'm using...
Your sentiment essentially is that this could be worthy of an investigation, not that you're supporting one.
I'm not supporting one.
But there's enough merit that
they can say, they can make the argument that there's enough merit. A senator has already looked into it. You have members of the administration who have thought about it from what I'm being told, and based on Trump's history with the NFL and him being an obvious sports fan, goes to events and stuff like that, he pays attention to this kind of stuff, and this is the kind of stuff that can feed that base. So I'm saying to the WNBA, because I support the WNBA, I want them to succeed. I want all of these ladies to get their money. I want them to have their success. I'm just warning them, watch it, because if he gets involved and that base gets involved, because somehow, some way they embrace victimhood on a part of Caitlin Clark, it could be a problem. Be careful. And I'm talking to the officials. I'm talking to the WNBA. I'm talking to the players in the league. I am coming from a position of support. I don't want this to happen. But ignoring it, acting like it ain't happening. The Wall Street Journal writing about that when they did, that was just a couple of weeks after those ladies wore those T-shirts. There's a collective bargaining negotiation coming up, and then all of a sudden that story comes out.
Now, this right here, guys, this was just a couple months back. Yeah, a couple months ago. So for those of y'all out there still thinking this whole thing has nothing to do with Caitlin Clark, buckle up, because this right here is Stephen A. Smith today, this morning, talking about this entire situation. And I'm telling you right now, if you thought Caitlin Clark wasn't connected to all this, you're about to get hit with a major reality check. Let's listen.
We know what world that I live in terms of politics. How many times, for one incident after another, have I said, Trump is coming. He's coming. I'm going to say it on national television again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be there, looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl, disrupting things. Big night for the NBA. Wembanyama put on a show. That has now been smeared because we're talking about this story, okay? Remember, Trump has a long, long history connected to the world of sports because he had those casinos. Where do you think folks were coming half the time? I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the culture. When people want to go to a casino, when people want to gamble, when people want to party, or whatever the case may be. This was his kind of connection to that. Why am I glad you're here, Monica? Because don't be surprised that the WNBA is next on his list. Mm-hmm. Because when you've got all of these protests that have been going out there and people that have been protesting against him and what have you, this man is coming. He's coming. And I've been saying it for a long time. And to me, this is the latest nugget of evidence that we're talking about right here. That's not to question the legitimacy of the case. We don't know. We're all sitting up here and we're saying that we don't know. But anybody that has been around him, anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today. I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, mm-hmm. It's as serious as it gets. This ain't the platform for me to get into it the way I'm going to get into it. But I've been saying he's coming. He's coming because in his eyes, folks try to throw him in jail. In his eyes, he's innocent. They try to put me behind bars. I'm getting everybody. He's not playing. And so this, in a lot of people's eyes, talk to people in the NBA, talk to people in the NFL, talk to people in the world of sports. They think this is like the tip of the iceberg. These are the kind of words that are coming out of people's mouths. It's not a surprise. It's very disheartening. It's very concerning. We don't know where this is going to go, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Everybody's been embracing themselves because he's coming.
This is bad, man. This is bad. All I gotta say is, Caitlin Clark is about to get paid. She's about to own the WNBA. Mark my words. And look, I got more stories coming that connect directly to this one, all tied back to what I covered yesterday. I've been warning y'all. I've been putting the puzzle pieces together one by one, and it's all lining up exactly how I said it would. I'm telling you right now, this offseason, it's about to be long for the WNBA. We are stepping into something we've never seen before in the history of sports. And the crazy part, it's all unfolding right in front of us. Donald Trump and his administration are not playing games, bro. He's coming in strong with that law and order energy. And when that happens, somebody's getting held accountable. Now, you really think America's sweetheart, Caitlin Clark, is just going to be left hanging? That the league can treat her any kind of way and nobody's going to step up? Come on now. These folks who thought they could just brush off what's been happening are about to get hit with reality real quick. Because if what's being said behind the scenes is true, people are going to be reprimanded. People are going to be punished. And this time, it's not getting swept under the rug. So yeah, get ready, because Caitlin Clark isn't just making headlines anymore. She's about to make history. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because trust me, this story is just getting started.